Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kiltz Health live stream with Dr. Nelson. I am Dr. Nelson. We have a guest today, and she's running a few minutes late, so we're going to wait for her. In the meantime, let me see who's already here. Target Prime Rib. Hello, Tom. Carnivore Jerry. Hello. Coach Juliet Edens. Hello, hello, hello. Sandy Blythe from sunny Florida. Please let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the chat and let me know where you are and maybe how cold it is. It's 63 degrees where I am in Central Florida in West Volusia. Tell me if you had snow, if it's freezing temperatures. Uh, Neither of them is my favorite. Hopefully, in a few minutes, she's going to be here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce some of what she does in a few minutes. Uh, I'll let her get here. In the meantime, if you have any questions, comments, Juliet is in Springfield, Missouri, or Missouri, depending where you're from. I know Cheryl's in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Hello, Louis. How are you doing? Um, I know Louis is in New York. So we have Terry from North Carolina. Go ahead and also put hashtag KMT for a chance to win a Dr. Nelson hat. I don't know how many are left. There's only a few left. But go ahead and put it in the comments, hashtag KMT. And let's see. I don't know if the usual YouTube channel of Dr. Kiltz is working or not. We've been having a little bit of problem with that. And I think you are probably all in my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. You may be watching from Alia's channel. If you are, go ahead and subscribe to that as well. Hello, Larry. Oh, Chicago, 19 degrees today. Oh, boy. I spent almost 12 years of my life between New York and Massachusetts, 8 of them in Massachusetts, and not my cup of tea. Definitely don't like the extremely cold weather or the snow. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, so not used to this weather. I saw snow for the first time at the age of 19. Brisket Boomers, how are you doing, Amy? I spoke to her just because before coming on air, and she had been in a meeting and she was running late. So hopefully she won't be too long and she'll be here. In the meantime, let's talk about the new food guidelines. If you have any questions, let's talk about that. Let's talk about ruminant meats versus non-ruminant meats. If you want to ask any questions about that, um, an interesting subject because I think there is definitely a hierarchy in the quality of the meats that we eat based on the nutritional content, but I'm not sure it makes an impact at the end of the day in our health. So, all righty. So, we have a very special guest with us today, someone who truly understands how to awaken the body's innate healing potential. Joining us from Mexico is Dr. Annie Alfaro. And Annie is a nutritionist and a functional medicine expert with over 16 years of clinical experience. She is the co founder of Adaptogens and a specialist in psychoneuroimmuno immune endocrinology, abbreviated PNIE. Annie understands the deep, intricate conversation between your brain, your hormones, and your immune system, whether you're here because you're looking to reverse insulin sensitivity, autoimmune conditions, diabetes, or optimizing health, your mitochondrial health and energy. And Annie's expertise in epigenetics and brain chemistry is going to provide you with a massive aha moment, hopefully, for you today. Hello, Annie. How are you doing?
How are you, Dr. Nelson? I'm sorry about the delay of being here, but well, now we are together finally.
It,
It's a pleasure to
it's
be
so
here.
good. It started when you got here.
Thank you very
It
much,
doesn't matter
doctor.
before.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and talk to you and your audience. So it's going to be a good talk today.
All right. So let's start, if you don't mind. Well, first of all, you're coming from Mexico right now, right?
Yes, I'm in Mexico right now.
All right. And how's the weather there?
A little bit cold. It's cold. Well, my town is always like not that cold, but in this time of the year, it used to be a little bit chilly some in during the morning and the afternoon, but it's good.
All right. So for the audience here who may not know you, go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do. And I was going to ask you this backstage, but we didn't have a chance.
That's
Uh,
fine.
how do you eat? Our audience is mostly carnivores or carnivore
Great.
curious or ketogenic.
Great.
Uh, so go ahead and
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Well, I'm going to start introducing myself. Well, my name is Ana Lucia Alfaro, but everybody, my friends and family, and you that now you're my friends or family, also call me Annie. Uh, I used to be in this situation about health for a lot of years already. When my kids were small. I have two sons. Now they are 22 and 20 years old. But I start all the nutrition things and learning about brain, of movements and kinesiology and all of that stuff when they were little, when they were like 4 to 6 years. I start changing a lot of things in my house first because I was well, I saw in that at that time I saw that food wasn't good that we have to do changes also for our kids, for our teenagers and everything. So I started studying a lot of things about nutrition, about the whole body, how the body is connected with everything. I mean, you cannot be sick of one thing, just one thing, because when you are sick of one thing, you are sick of a lot of things together. So I understand that at that time, and that helped me a lot to understand the body as a whole thing. You are not gonna believe it, but I start studying a lot of food based on plants. I was using a lot of food based, plant based. And when I saw, because I started seeing patients also a lot of time ago, like 10 years or more than 10 years seeing patients, and I start seeing that they were not having the health that I want. So I start studying and studying and studying, and now I have all my food and the food of my patients are most keto diet or carnivore diet, I used to eat like 90% carnivore diets. Sometimes I can eat some lettuce maybe that is on my way, but I must to eat carnivore diet from, I think, almost a year already, I think. So, but I have a lot of years in ketogenic diet with me and my pensions and my family. I used to do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of fasting also with my patients and in my practice and in myself, and I love it. I used to be a very confidence also with a lot of simple things in life like sun, like grounding. But my speciality or special thing that I do or that I know to do is how to use adaptogens in the lifestyles of my patients. And I started studying this theme like 7 years ago already. More than 7 years, but 7 years ago, from the 7 years through now, I used to use it a lot in my patients. I see a lot of great things how when they combine food, lifestyle, spirituality, also, of course, and the adaptogens. So in my practice, I used to do a lot of things. It's not just like a simple talk with the patients. Uh, I used to go very deep, very deep in their lives, very deep in their heart, very deep also in what they do, what they eat. And adaptogens helps a lot in that because they work in our ATP energy, in our mitochondria. And we all that here know that if we have a good mitochondrial health, we're going to have a good life, physical life. So that's what I do, doctor. I don't know if my English is not so good sometimes, and sometimes I break the words, but I'll try to do my best.
Well, you've come to the perfect place because I had a stroke almost 8 years ago, and as a side effect, it left me with a Spanish accent.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, that's what I do. I love to do this. You don't know how much this is my passion. I love to see how people can heal themselves very easily because I really believe that health is easy. When we know the simple things, the health is easy for everybody. It's just that sometimes people don't want to change some habits or don't want to change some people that is around. I used to be very aware of that because I have a lot of masters in spirituality and a lot of masters also in mind and practitioner of meditations and all that stuff. And I believe a lot in the people that you are around with, how you are going to act when you have good people around and when you have the wrong partners around. So that helps a lot also to be deep on it.
Did you do? I know you were scheduled to do carnivore conversations with Dr. Kills. Have you done that already or not?
Yes, we did that
Okay.
like in November.
Okay.
We
Well,
we were talking.
I don't know if it has come out yet because we have so much material. We are a few months
Yes,
from
they
publishing.
say it's gonna be like a little bit late, maybe in this
Yeah.
year, but I hope it comes out soon.
So the reason I mention him is, out of everything that you mentioned, the spirituality, mindset, uh, exercise,
Exactly.
food, lifestyle, sunlight, sleeping well, all of that things, you do understand that he says faith is first.
Yes.
Faith, fasting, fat, those are the first thing.
Yeah,
Faith, fat,
actually,
and fasting.
when they talk about mind, body, and spirituality, I used to tell my patients, well, I know it's difficult, but you have to go first spiritually, mind, and then body, because our physical body is gonna be good if your mind and heart is good. So that's easy.
All right. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, QQQ in front of it, so I can see it clearly and I don't miss. And of course, Annie, Larry says, don't worry about it. Your English is perfect.
Thank you, Larry. I tried to do my best. Thank you.
So Do you have a clinic?
Yes, I do have a clinic here in my town. I live in Irapuato, Guanajuato. That is a small town. Well, yes, it's a small town close to Mexico City. It's right in the center of the country. And my clinic is already maybe like 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years already, like working in this. I used to have a lot of good things for my patients. I do a lot of IV, like IV therapy. I
Okay.
believe a lot of in the ozono. I don't know how do you say ozono in English.
Ozone. Ozone.
Ozone therapy. I used to do also a lot of I have a psychologist in the clinic. I have a nutritionist. I have also like fancy things for the face. Also, I used to do face yoga sometimes. I have a little study on that. Also, I believe in the that the beauty outside is gonna be working from inside, and the exercise from face and body is gonna be workful for everybody. I don't believe in therapies that are fast. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in Botox. I don't believe in all that things that I know is harmful for ourselves. I can see that in my patients. I used to see patients with a lot of sickness. I don't see a lot of patients just to coming down weight. I see patients with a lot of strange, como border, well, strange
Symptomatology.
dermatology. I used to see a lot of patients from of with cancer, with autoimmune disease, with a lot of metabolic problems, and as I told you, when I started studying all this and doing all this work, and my plan was much plant based, and I used to do that. I understand a lot about the microbiome. I understand a lot about the allergies, the oxalates, and all that stuff. I am a believer of the carnivore diet because I know and I knew it from my patients, from me, from myself. I used to have a lot of colitis when I was young. I used to have a lot of symptomatology of hormone disorders, a lot of the soap. I used to have COP. I used to have insulin resistance when I was young. And all of that, I understand that now I understand that I used to pass through because I need to understand. So now that helps me a lot, Nelson, because that is useful for me because now I understand a lot how the sickness becomes or where appears. That's why I do all this in my town, but I have patients everywhere in the world. I used to have my consults here in my town, but also by internet. So I do have a lot of patients everywhere in the world. Thank you, God. And the adaptogens that I used to use, they are also in a lot of countries that are in Europe, in the United States, in Mexico. It's a brand that together with Dr. Alberto Mohammad, we made a brand of adaptogens that is very useful for every patient in every part of the world. And well, that helped us also in the practice. So, oh well, yes, I do have my clinic here.
All right. So, first of all, you said when you were young. You mean when you were younger? Because
Well,
I'm not going to ask you how young you are, but with a 22 and a 20-year-old, you have to be about a certain age, but you don't look. You could lie to me and tell me you're in your 20s. I believe you.
no, I'm 45. I'm 45 already, almost 46.
All right.
But I used to have a lot of symptomatologies when I was like 18. So there's a lot of time for me so that I was practicing myself. And that is good. That is good for me because I tell my patients, I pass through a lot of things. Believe it or not, I do pass through a lot of things and sickness that could be very, very bad for me now if I couldn't stop it at that time. So, and you know that with those symptomatology, patients then develop a lot of sickness very harmful. So I'm very grateful that I can pass that and I can do it by myself. I understand that, but now, because now that helped me a lot to help a lot of people.
So you have been vegan, vegetarian for a certain amount of time. Now you're closer to the other side of the spectrum, a carnivore. And then you have also studied the science behind these things.
Exactly.
What what do you think is the main problem with a vegan diet, for example?
Um, when I was vegan for like for 4 months, and but before of that, I used to have my plant-based plan for my patients. So the first thing that I see, it was a physical thing. I mean, I never was like so different from now, but my skin was like with another tone. It was more like gray. The energy, my muscles, I didn't have muscles. I didn't have like a very nice body. I mean, I don't have a very nicer body now, but it's better, much better with more muscle. And also I start seeing that I used to be like very infections every single day, like not that healthy uh, promise that everybody knows when they tell you plants are the best. I really was in well, in Mexico we say in carne propia. I don't know how do you say, like in our own practice. So when I start changing, and also Nelson, I start changing because I saw a lot of patients that in the beginning they start to being better. They came to me and I put a plant-based form or whatever. They start to change it and they start to be good like for very short period of time. But then I realized that
Because they were going from the standard diet to something
exactly.
that probably eliminated a lot of bad stuff.
Exactly. And then I understand, I realized that that very short period of time, it was because they eliminate every garbage of the life. No, but then start like a stock it, and they become another again to be back. So I was like thinking and thinking and thinking, and that's why when I change and I start with the ketogenic diet, I start first with that, and I eliminate all grains and all cereals. I start to doing to put that away, and people and myself, we start getting better and better and better and better, and then I understand a lot of things about microbiome and a lot of things about what I told you, no, allergies. And then when I start changing, then from taking away the vegetables also and fruits and everything, my patients were up. Then I understand, studying and in the practice also, that I was doing the correct thing. So I am a person that can tell everybody that is hearing us today that I really recommend this style of life, and not just for myself and not just from the words to be out. It's just because in my practice a lot of people that is going past through my practice is going better and better. So I think the first thing it was that I didn't see good health in my patients and in myself. Energy very low, the body it was not good, and like the skin color, that's, and the analytics, I used to read a lot of analytics of my patients, and the analytics, it was they wasn't good. There was, the cholesterol was very down, triglycerides was very up. So I start like knowing all that things also, and that's what I change. That's why I change.
Absolutely. The triglycerides are, when I was in more typical medical practice, the triglycerides were always the key for me to know what type of diet they were following.
Exactly.
And my recommendation, even before being carnivore, strict keto, or anything like that, for over 30 years has been high triglycerides. I tell them to cut the carbs
Exactly.
because I could see by the next visit, which would be 6 to 12 weeks later, if they follow my advice, triglycerides would be basically normal in almost everyone,
Exactly.
with few exceptions. And if they didn't have a dramatic decrease, I knew they had not followed my instructions. And I could tell
Exactly.
them, hey, you're not doing what I told you, cut the carbs. And basically I would start with I Puerto Rican. A lot of my patients have been wherever I've been in practice in New York, Massachusetts, and Florida mainly, plus 6 other states, by the way. And uh, patients usually seek me out. So what do I have to tell them? Listen, if you're from the Caribbean, I'm gonna tell you, stop the rice, the beans, the roots, the different uh, tubercles, the bread, the pasta, right? If it's my people from Mexico and Central America, stop the tortillas. Because you know I grew up eating rice and beans twice a day every day,
Exactly.
and some people have it 3 times a day. Well, I know if you're from Mexico, Central America, you probably having tortillas 3 times a day as well. And many would tell me, oh, I don't have that many, 12, 15 in a day, because the numbers were never one or two.
Exactly.
So that will be the first thing I ask them to cut, because you could see the results immediately uh, in the triglycerides. There are medications for triglycerides. I've never been a big fan of it. And after several years ago now, I saw a study from the Veterans Administration, the VA system here in the United States, where the triglyceride medications, and that includes gemfibrozil and fenofibrate and all the related
Mm-hmm.
medications, were effective in lowering triglycerides, but did not make a difference in all-cause mortality. So just lowering your triglycerides, if it didn't have the effect of improving your life and decreasing your cardiovascular risk, then why are we doing it? Just so the paper looks good? So I stopped definitely prescribing way before as a matter of fact, before I stopped prescribing statins, which I have also done.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this medication for the triglycerides, the best medicine for triglycerides is cut your carbs
Exactly.
and add some omega-3, by the way. Omega-3 fatty acids do decrease triglycerides as well. In combination, they're perfect. And supplementing with omega-3s is not as good as uh, ingesting the omega-3s.
Mhm.
But anyways, so talk to us a little bit about PNIE. What is that?
Well, that is my last master that I make, and I love it. It's called. It's about all the body together, because when you understand that actually the siglas,
The
I don't know
initials. That's
the
it. Yeah.
initials, the
Initials.
initials, they are very like they awake me a lot, because when you understand why the neuro, how the mind, the neurotransmitters, and everything goes together and impact in your immune system, in your hormones, and everything, you understand everything. When you understand that the body, that the human being work together as a whole thing, as a whole world inside, it's very different to see the sickness. That helped me a lot, Dr. Nelson, because when a patient comes to me and I start making some questions about their lives, about their families, about their sometimes the things that hurt in their hearts, I understand a lot of things about the sickness that they are passing through. So this master was very good for me because it makes me understand how we can treat one sickness with a lot of things, with the thinking, with the way which you talk, the way you see, the way you love, the way you understand your people that is around you that I was telling you before. And I now I am aware about all that, and also it helps me a lot because also I understand how the supplementation, it has to be very like pointed to the human that is the person that you are treating. I mean, you cannot, one supplementation is not good for everybody. Now that you was talking about the omega-3 and the things to take down the triglycerides and everything, I believe that when we eat good, when we think good, when we do good, the good habits, sleep, grounding, fasting, and all the simple things, you don't need that much supplementation. That is for sure. And I understand also then with that master how in my practice, my practice about the adaptogens, how they work with everybody. I was making a lot of research about that in this master, because when I start changing the food also from plant-based and now carnivore, I was trying to understand how the adaptogens, being plants, they can be eaten or they can be taken for the carnivore people. And then I start studying a lot and introducing myself a lot in the adaptogens, in the active principles of the adaptogens. And I understand that they are not simple plants. They are just the principal active that has those plants that helps our body to have more energy. And that's helped me in this master also a lot, because I understand that when you introduce to the body one simple thing that makes your neurotransmitters, one that makes your vision about life, one that makes your sleep better, that changes everything. So I don't know if I think at this time of our lives, this master PNIE, they are more knowledge already, and it's just that, Dr. Nelson, it's just to understand the body as a whole thing, and it's very interesting.
So Dr. Kiltz talks a lot about the baby's diet. He called babies the BEBBI or two eyes S. That is bacon, eggs, butter, beef,
Mhm.
ice cream, Kiltz ice cream, by the way, either
Mhm.
no sugar or small amounts, and intermittent feasting. That's what he called fasting.
Okay.
He intermittently feasts and then rest for usually suggest once a day, and salt. That's what the S is for. But if you're eating that way and you're exercising and sleeping well, do you do any fasting personally?
A lot. I do a lot of fasting. I used to do like 20 hours at least for every single day. I used to eat like around 10 o'clock, and then I used to have my second meal like around 2 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock, and then I don't eat anything through the night. I used to do fasting during the afternoon and night. That's my
Okay.
best way to make my patients understand our body and why the fasting is working with us. For me, the fasting is one of the healing things for the most top strategies that we can have. But we have to do it correct, because I understand the body as two things. Where in at night, in the afternoon at night, our body is ready to be restored, and it restores everything. And if he has all the elements to be restored, he is gonna heal themselves, no, ourselves. And in the morning, we have all the sunlight, we have all the good things for our body to be with the nutrients that we need. So if we eat at the morning or in during the day when the sun is up, when we are wake up, when we are like doing things, we're gonna have all that elements or that material to be restored at night. So that's why for me the fasting, I mean, we have a lot
Are
of
you
people.
still eating? Do you still eat twice a day?
Yes, I always eat twice
All
or
right.
once a day.
Or
Twice
once a
or
day.
once a day,
All
exactly.
right.
But I have a lot of time doing that. And my
And
uh
do you do any prolonged fasting?
yes, I used to do like once a month, at least 3 days fasting. And sometimes I do have a lot of with my patients some challenge, and sometimes I make a 5 day fasting. 5 day fasting maybe like one twice a year, but 3 day fasting I used to do it like every month, every two
Every month.
months. And
Okay.
all single day I used to do like 20 hours fasting. So, and I love it, I really love it. So it's good for me. I make it made me feel with energy. My hormones are every time they are better, and instead of being worse, they are better. My muscles are better, my body is better. I can do my exercise with fasting, without fasting, anything, and I can do it correct. So it's a very good herramienta, very good
Tool.
thing to do, tool to do.
So obviously, the patients that go to your clinic, you have a focus on that type of eating or way of eating. What about your family, extended family, and friends? What do they think about you eating mostly meat?
Great, good question. Um, I do have a lot, very good family, I can tell. My two kids or my two sons, my husband, they eat the same as I do. Actually, my husband, I'm sorry, my son, my big son, yesterday start fasting one day. Every Monday he makes fasting. He stopped eating on Sunday in the afternoon, and he eat again on Tuesday in the morning. Every Monday he used to do that. They follow a lot the things that I do, but I think, and my husband does also, but I think they do it because they see me, and I told a lot of I can tell a lot of people this: if you do the correct things, people is gonna follow you sooner or later. Actually, my nephews, my niece, my sister-in-laws, my brothers, my sisters, they try to do what I do. Sometimes they don't do it like as very good, we can tell, but they try a lot. They believe, and I'm very glad about that. I'm very thankful for that. And also I'm very criticada, criticized for a lot of people also, of course. But as I tell you, sooner or later they come with me, and they come to me because they see. And I think when they see me also in person, I'm a normal person, I do normal things, but I'm very congruent. I have to I'll try to do very congruent when I talk and what I do and what I say and everything. So that helps me a lot, and I'm very glad for that. My sons, one of my son, the youngest, I start all this also because he had in the past, when he was like 10 years old maybe, a lot of psoriasis in the skin, very bad. And we were that was the first time when I take everything away about plants, and I start like more carnivore diet with him when he was very little, without knowing all that I know now. It was like more like something that in my mind I tried to do it. I don't know why I did it that time like that, but I saw how he healed all his skin. And my oldest son, he's very intelligent, but also he's a little bit anxious. So I understand a lot about the brain with him, and the adaptogens help me a lot, and the food also, to take away carbohydrates and everything, helps a lot by the brain. So that's why I know what I do, and everybody like follows me the most they can. Some others they don't. also, and they say I'm crazy. When my kids were small, they tell me that I was a very crazy mom because I take away everything of my kids when they were like 4 and 6. I take everything away. I throw everything like garbage out, and they told me that my kids were gonna be very bad now. And I believe God always helps me to do the correct things because my sons are bigger, my sons are strong now, they are healthy. We don't get sick, thank you God. We don't get sick. We don't use antibiotics and medicine. So I'm very glad about that.
Very good. I do have a question about the guidelines, but let's take this question first from Larry. And Larry Ryan says, I know grounding is good
Mm.
for us. Are grounding mats worth it? I would walk outside barefoot, but we have snow on the ground. So many people that live in very cold weather and there is snow in particular, it's difficult to try to do grounding with your foot in the snow. Trust me, I wouldn't do it. Uh, so, what do you think? Are grounding mats worth it because of that? Do you use any grounding
No,
technology?
and it's a very good question, Larry. And actually, I have some information for you that I have just a few days ago, and I was just like this to get a mat like this. I didn't get it because I hear about Carlos Stroh and some people that were talking about the electromagnetic field and everything and the contaminations that we have about that. And I stopped. I didn't buy it because they say that we have to be very careful with everything that connects to the electricity. I mean, if you find a mat that can be like connected, like rechargeable, that will be maybe a good idea. I didn't buy it because I was actually, look, I do have my Speedo thing now. That's what I tell you. I do everything what I tell you, and I try it first, then I let you know. But actually, the last week in my house, we used to. They came and they follow everything in my house, and we put like some strategic things, and we were talking about the mats. So that's can I tell you, Larry? I didn't went to buy. I didn't buy it, so I don't think it's a very good idea if we don't have something that is supervised before, because then you're going to have more electromagnetic garbage around that is going to be maybe worse than the things that can help you. When we live in a snow or very cold weather, actually, as you know, or maybe some of people that are here know, that is as good to be outside in the cold that as good to be at the sun, just exactly close next to the sun. So maybe, I know it's difficult, Dr. Nelson, but maybe like 1 minute to be in the snow is not gonna be bad for people. It's gonna be very good, and it's a very good way to do grounding, maybe. Or in a deck that it doesn't have like a snow. In a deck, it doesn't matter. Your feet are a little bit cold. It's gonna be good for you, and you're gonna have a lot of benefits of cold as the benefits that you have for hot, like for saunas and everything. Actually, we have to be very aware also with saunas, because it's the same thing. We can have a lot of electromagnetic dysfunction about around, and it's gonna be like worse than the health that we can recollect. So it's just that. I mean, there's a lot of like tips and tools that we can use. We don't have to be like afraid of everything, but we have to just be aware of very little things that can help to really get better. And we are going to buy something that works for us and not just spend the money just for nothing. I'm sorry about, I don't know if we understand what I say.
I did. I think he did too. All right. So recently, just a week, 2 weeks ago now, I think the United States food guidelines have changed and have changed kind of dramatically compared to the past 50 years, because almost 50 years ago, the 1977 guidelines included for the first time that pyramid where really everything is upside down. And I'm sure you agree because you're now carnivore basically. And I think it's a good thing, a step forward. They kept the limit on fat, saturated fat. I think at least it was for at 10%. They they could not remove it. There were some people trying to, but at least have you seen the new guidelines or the new pyramid?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So my advice: stay in the Upper West Side, and you'll be okay. Ignore ignore the
Exactly. Ignore
rest.
the rest.
So, what do you think? Was it far enough? Could it be better even?
It could be always better. I think everything it could be always better. But I think it's a good step, Dr. Nelson. I think it's a very good step for everybody. For me, it was like a very helpful also for myself and to be like to help to tell my patients and told them, look, we are not so in a bad way. We are going in the good way. And I believe they are gonna be and they are gonna still changing things. This has to change. People, I think you, me, and another people as you and me that see patients, we can see that the sickness is very up, and every day is worse. So I don't believe that the governments could afford this for a longer time. I mean, we cannot live in a world with a lot of sick people. So they are seeing that. I know they are seeing that. And I believe and I pray every single day for God to open their minds and change this. So I think it's gonna be better. I think it's not the greatest thing that we could have. I believe and I see about the oxalate thing, the oxalate theme with vegetables, that is very important also. So I think we have to cut also the introducing vegetables in our diets. Stop the a lot of vegetables that people eat. So and maybe in the new pyramid that it's a little bit confused. I mean, still confused. So, I mean, it's better, but it's still confused. I mean, we have to still working on what we do. We have to still working in approve with people, with patients that it works, that this kind of food, carnivore food works. I have a challenge, not challenge, but it's like a transition in my practice. And I used to have my patients in a transition from the basic way they eat, and then I start changing a ketogenic diet. Then I call ketovore when I eat all the oxalates and everything, and then I put them in the carnivore diet for time for a period of time, and I start asking questions how they feel and everything, and they really say I'm going to stay in this part. So I think everything you know, I know, and every people that is here now hearing, when we really do good things in the correct way, we feel good. So we don't want to come back again. So I think it's gonna be better every day, and this is a good step. I think it's a very good step for everybody.
So this is not a question; it's basically a comment. Who's your carnivore, Brad? Haven't seen you in a while, Brad. Good to
Mhm.
see you here. I would love to see Dr. Nelson walk barefoot in the snow. That will be a great video. That will be a great video, but you're never, never, ever gonna see it. I, as a matter of fact, I am probably going to die without seeing snow again because you would only call me dead in a snowstorm. Uh, maybe serendipitously, I end up being near snow at some point in my life. It's not gonna be a plan. Uh, I highly dislike the snow. All right. So what do you eat? What are your favorite meals? Tell me a couple of meals Ani Alfaro has at home
Mhm.
on the regular.
Okay, I'm very simple, so it's easier. I used to have at morning a very nice ribeye steak, and in the afternoon, like 1, 2 o'clock, another ribeye steak. So that's what the most that I eat like every single day. I used to have some butter also in my meals. Sometimes I can have some chicken or maybe some pork. If I'm out in another country or wherever and it's some I love oysters. Love I can eat like 20, 30 oysters in a just one sit. I can have also maybe some shrimps or wherever is in another country. But in my house, I must to eat some some days of the week eggs and my ribeye. So steak and eggs is my regular thing.
Ever have ground beef?
Yes, I used to have here in San Miguel de Allende. It's a very close town from here, like an hour from here, and they have ground beef meat, ground meat, and we used to take it from there. Not all the time we can find it here. My town is small, and my patients or my people also. I tell them go for the best you can. I mean, try to do your best in meat and eggs and everything. Eggs is easier for us to find it good eggs, but meat is not that easy. I mean, I used to have it from there, but when they don't have, then I used to have just the best quality I can find,
Do you
but
have
I'll
you don't
try.
have a local butcher or a
No, not here.
beef cattle farmer?
Just that one that I told you in San Miguel de Allende, but it's
Okay.
not so big, so it doesn't have a lot of like a stock of things or like a variety. So, but well, we try to do our best. I used to have a lot of barrow. How do you say? Ay, se me fue la palabra. De barrow. Ay, se me fue en español
Dímelo
también.
en español.
Se me fue en español también.
Oh, okay.
Que es la médula, como la médula, el
Oh,
tuétano.
bone marrow, bone marrow.
Tuétano. That one. That one.
Okay.
Bone marrow, when I have it, I love it. And I used to put it on top of my steak and I love it. And if I don't have bone marrow, I have butter. And also, I can tell you, when you was talking about your patients that they want, then maybe sometimes tell you, I'm doing good things. When you see the analytics, you tell them you are not doing good things. When the triglycerides are up and the cholesterol is down, I used to do that a lot, and I tell them I'm not a witch, and I know the future, but I know you're not doing the correct things because I saw it here. So my cholesterol is high, my triglycerides are down. I have like 30, around 30, and my cholesterol is around like 290, maybe 280 to 90. I feel great, very good,
So,
and well,
so I was going to ask you about that, and you mentioned it. So, what do you say? Because this is the number one reason anybody would say anything bad about a carnivore diet or a very low carb diet. Oh, your cholesterol, you're going to die from a heart attack, right? So, what do you tell your patients, or what do you tell your friends or family who tell you, well, you're going to have a heart attack?
well, I tell them the first thing I tell them is that we have to know more about cholesterol. We need cholesterol for our brain. We need cholesterol for our hormones. We need cholesterol for our protection. It's a very neuroprotector thing or substance, or I don't know how do you say, but I just tell them just that. I mean, and I believe it because I saw patients when my patients are in this type of diet and they have the cholesterol high. I try to explain this. You have and you need this cholesterol to be protected. So everybody is like more calm about that theme, but sometimes I wanted to have the study for my arteries and everything, but here in my town, I don't know where to do it, so I have to go to another places. But I will do it someday shortly. But I show them all my analytics and I try to explain, and well, I do as I can to explain the good that cholesterol is. I do so studies that says that people that have high cholesterol and goes to terapia intensiva, intensity therapy, have the more como la tiene chance, the more chance to get out of that, the sickness, that people to have lower cholesterol. So that study helps me a lot also to tell people, look, I'm not telling just things by uh, by myself. I'm telling you about the studies. And well, I try to explain the good the cholesterol is. I really love cholesterol. I do have one thing that I want to tell you that is going to be, I think, good for everybody to hear. My father has 81 years old, and he is all day outside in like a seat outside at the sun. So it's always in the sun. He mostly eat eggs, just eggs and some meat. He has a lot of cholesterol in the analytics. He has a very low triglycerides, and he is very healthy. He has well, the sickness he has. He drinks a lot, and I just tell people my father is alive because of the sun and the cholesterol. If he doesn't have those things high, he will be dead now. So that helps me a lot to understand. But believe me, I know it's a very good protector.
All right. So unfortunately, we've come to the end. I wanted to ask you. I met you at Low Carb San Diego. We're gonna be this coming week. In 2 days, I go to Boca for Low Carb Boca. Are you gonna be there?
No, yeah, not this
No.
time because I have an event in Mexico that I have to go and have a conference in Monterrey. So it couldn't have a chance. But I
So
go in May or April. It's gonna be another one. I don't know. I don't remember the city in the United States. I'll be there.
Meatstock?
Midstock, that one.
Yeah, that's in Tennessee, Smoky Mountains,
Yeah,
Gatlinburg.
that
All
one.
right. So I will see you there because I will be there.
Perfect.
Where can people find you?
Well, they can find me in my Instagram, and then they have the link tree there. My Instagram is ANYALFARO, Annie Alfaro. You can find me like that. And well, if you want, I can give you my console number if you want. I don't know, the WhatsApp.
So I have your Instagram in the description.
That one.
All
You
right.
can you can find me there.
So all righty. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna run this. Sorry, I didn't bring it up. You're gonna have to trust me on the winner
Mhm.
because I did not bring it up. Steadfast 20 4 26. Steadfast 20. Please email Alia at drkiltz.com. Alia at drkiltz.com. Tell them that you won a Dr. Nelson hat. If we have any, we have them in two colors,
Mhm.
gray and black.
Mhm.
And in an hour and a half, in the Kills Mighty Track community, we're going to be within our community in a Zoom meeting. Okay. So, everybody, thank you for being here. And everybody on Instagram, thank you for being here as well. You have a great day. And thank you for being here, Annie.
Thank you for having me here, and thank you everybody to listen to me. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.